Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 MH370 was a scheduled international passenger flight operating from Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia to Beijing Capital International Airport in China. Operated by a Boeing 777-200ER, the flight was part of Malaysia Airlines regular services connecting Southeast Asia with East Asia. The airline, established in 1947, has a history of providing extensive regional and international flights, and MH370 was a key route in its network. The Boeing 777-200ER, known for its long-range capabilities and reliability, was among the flagship aircraft in Malaysia Airlines fleet. The aircraft, a Boeing 777-200ER, was carrying 239 people when it lost contact with air traffic control less than an hour after takeoff. The timeline of events. The flight took off from Kuala at 12:41 MYT Malaysia time. At 1:01 MYT, MH370 reached its cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. Everything appeared normal at this point. The last voice communication from the cockpit was at 1:19 MYT when the co-pilot said, "Good night Malaysian 370. At 1:21 MYT, the aircraft's transponder was switched off, making it disappear from secondary radar. Military radar tracked the aircraft turning westward back across the Malay Peninsula, then northwest up the Strait of Malacca, before it lost radar contact at 2:22 MYT. The disappearance of MH370 sparked numerous conspiracy theories and extensive international investigations. Despite the largest and most expensive search in aviation history, only scattered pieces of debris were found, with the main wreckage still missing. Theories about the disappearance range from technical malfunctions and hijacking to more outlandish ideas. The incident has led to significant changes in aviation safety and tracking to prevent such mysteries in the future. There were many theories surrounding the disappearance of MH370, such as the deliberate turning off of the transponder and the deviation from the flight path suggest potential deliberate action by someone on board, possibly the pilot or co-pilot. However, no conclusive evidence has been found to support this theory. Another theory is a catastrophic mechanical failure that incapacitated the crew and passengers, leaving the aircraft to fly on autopilot until it ran out of fuel and crashed. However, the sudden and deliberate changes in the flight path make this less likely. A rapid decompression or slow loss of cabin pressure could have led to hypoxia oxygen deprivation, incapacitating everyone on board while the plane continued on autopilot. The search for MH370 began in the South China Sea and then shifted to the southern Indian Ocean based on satellite data from Inmarsat. This data indicated that the aircraft continued flying for several hours after losing contact. Over the years, pieces of debris confirmed to be from MH370 have washed ashore on islands in the Indian Ocean and along the eastern coast of Africa. These include a flaperon found on Reunion Island in July 2015, among other parts. Scientists have used ocean drift analysis to backtrack the possible crash location from where debris was found. This analysis has helped narrow down the search area. The use of underwater drones, sonar, and other advanced technologies has allowed for detailed seabed mapping in the search area, though the main wreckage has yet to be located. In a development that has gripped the world, scientists have finally made a groundbreaking discovery regarding one of the most baffling aviation mysteries of our time, the disappearance of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. Nearly a decade after the plane vanished from radar, leaving behind endless speculation and countless theories, new evidence has emerged that could shed light on what truly happened to the ill-fated flight. This revelation promises to bring some closure to the families of the 239 passengers and crew members who were on board and answers to a global community that has been left in suspense. The disappearance of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 on March 8, 2014, stands as one of the most confounding mysteries in aviation history. The Boeing 777-200ER was en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing when it lost contact with air traffic control less than an hour after takeoff. Despite an extensive multinational search effort covering millions of square kilometers in the southern Indian Ocean, the wreckage eluded discovery for years, leaving investigators and the public alike with more questions than answers. Theories range from technical malfunctions to deliberate acts of sabotage, but concrete evidence remained frustratingly out of reach. The quest to uncover the truth has seen unprecedented international collaboration, with experts from various fields pooling their knowledge and resources. Satellite data, oceanographic studies, and advanced search technology have all played critical roles in the ongoing investigation. However, it wasn't until recent breakthroughs in underwater exploration and data analysis that scientists could piece together more definitive insights into the plane's final moments. The search for Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 MH370 has seen several groundbreaking discoveries made by scientists and researchers over the years. These discoveries have significantly advanced our understanding of the flight's disappearance, although the exact location of the main wreckage remains elusive. Here are some of the key breakthroughs in detail. 1. Analysis of Inmarsat satellite data. One of the most critical pieces of evidence in the MH370 investigation came from Inmarsat. Inmarsat is a British satellite telecommunications company that provides global mobile communication services. Inmarsat's data provided information about the aircraft's final hours through a series of automated hourly handshakes pings between the plane and a satellite. The analysis of Inmarsat satellite data played a crucial role in narrowing down the potential flight path and final location of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 MH370. Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 MH370. This groundbreaking work involves sophisticated techniques to interpret the limited signals received from the aircraft after it lost contact with air traffic control. MH370 was equipped with a satellite communication system that connected to the Inmarsat network. After the plane's transponder was turned off and it lost radar contact, the only data available were a series of automated hourly handshakes or pings between the aircraft and an Inmarsat satellite. A handshake is a signal sent by the aircraft to the satellite to establish a connection. These pings did not contain detailed information about the plane's location, speed, or altitude, but they did provide two crucial pieces of data. This measures the time delay between when the satellite sent a signal and when it received a response from the aircraft. This delay can be used to estimate the distance between the satellite and the aircraft. This measures the difference between the expected frequency of the signal received from the aircraft and the actual frequency. The difference is caused by the Doppler effect, which is influenced by the relative motion between the satellite and the aircraft. The Doppler effect causes a shift in frequency due to the relative movement of the aircraft and the satellite. By analyzing the BFO data, scientists could infer the aircraft's velocity relative to the satellite. This analysis provided critical clues about the aircraft's flight path. Initial analyses identified two possible corridors where the aircraft might have flown: a northern route towards Central Asia and a southern route into the southern Indian Ocean. Given the lack of radar detections or debris in the northern corridor, the southern route was considered more likely. By correlating the BTO and BFO data over time, investigators were able to reconstruct possible flight paths. This involved complex calculations and modeling to account for the satellite's movement, the aircraft's possible speeds, and changes in altitude. The combination of BTO and BFO analyses allowed researchers to narrow down the search area. Each handshake created an arc of potential locations where the aircraft could be based on the calculated distance from the satellite. These arcs were plotted over the Earth's surface. The last few handshakes indicated a steep descent, suggesting that the aircraft ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean. Subsequent analyses continued to refine the understanding of MH370's flight path. Over time, more sophisticated models incorporating satellite data, ocean currents, and drift patterns of debris have helped to narrow down the likely crash site. The analysis involved collaboration between Inmarsat, the Australian Transport Safety Bureau (ATSB), and other international experts, combining their expertise to enhance the accuracy of the findings. The analysis of Inmarsat satellite data was unprecedented and highlighted the potential of using satellite communication data to track aircraft in distress. It led to significant improvements in global aviation safety standards, including the development of more robust aircraft tracking systems. 2. Ocean drift analysis. Debris from MH370 began washing up on shores in the western Indian Ocean, including Reunion Island, Mozambique, Tanzania, and Madagascar. Scientists used these pieces of debris to backtrack and estimate the crash location. Ocean drift analysis has been a crucial component in the investigation of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 MH370, playing a vital role in narrowing down the possible crash site in the vast southern Indian Ocean. This analysis involves studying how ocean currents, wind, and waves could have carried debris from the crash site to various locations where it was eventually discovered. The first significant breakthrough came in July 2015 when a flaperon from a Boeing 777 was found on Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean. Subsequent discoveries of debris on beaches in Mozambique, South Africa, Mauritius, and Madagascar provided more pieces of the puzzle. Each of these debris findings was carefully analyzed and confirmed to be from MH370. Researchers used sophisticated drift modeling software to simulate the paths that debris could have taken from various potential crash sites. Data on the speed and direction of surface currents. Wind speed and direction can push floating debris in different directions. The effect of waves on the movement of debris, particularly how waves can add additional force and direction to the drift. Drift models were run backward from the locations where debris was found, effectively rewinding the paths the debris might have taken. The drift analysis indicated that debris found on the western Indian Ocean shores could have originated from a crash site within a specific region of the southern Indian Ocean. This narrowed the search area significantly. In 2016, the Australian Transport Safety Bureau (ATSB) published a report based on these drift analyses, which suggested a new priority search area. This area was further south of the initial search zones and covered a region where the currents and winds could plausibly carry debris to the discovery locations. 3. Identification of debris. The identification of debris from Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 MH370 has been a crucial aspect of the investigation, providing tangible evidence that has helped to narrow down the search area and confirm the fate of the missing aircraft. The search for MH370 initially focused on the southern Indian Ocean based on satellite data indicating the aircraft's likely flight path after it disappeared from radar screens on March 8, 2014. Despite extensive efforts, including multinational search missions and technological advancements, locating the main wreckage remained a daunting challenge. In July 2015, over a year after the aircraft's disappearance, a significant breakthrough occurred when a piece of debris identified as a flaperon washed ashore on Reunion Island in the western Indian Ocean. A flaperon is a control surface on the wing of an aircraft that helps control lift and speed during flight. Experts from various fields, including aviation authorities and Boeing, examined the flaperon to determine if it belonged to MH370. They looked at distinctive features such as serial numbers, maintenance records, and unique identifiers specific to Boeing 777-77 aircraft. One of the key methods used for identification was matching serial numbers and other part identifiers found on the flaperon with those known to belong to MH370. This process involved meticulous comparison and verification to ensure accuracy. Forensic techniques were employed to analyze the physical characteristics of the flaperon, including its condition, corrosion patterns, and any potential traces of impact or environmental exposure. These analyses helped corroborate its origin. Following extensive examination and comparison, French authorities, with assistance from international experts, confirmed that the flaperon indeed belonged to MH370. This confirmation was based on a combination of physical matching, forensic analysis, and the absence of evidence suggesting it belonged to any other known aircraft. The discovery of the flaperon on Reunion Island spurred intensified searches along coastlines and islands in the western Indian Ocean. Over the following years, additional pieces of debris were found in various locations, including Mozambique, Tanzania, Madagascar, and other islands in the region. Additional debris included sections of wings and other structural components that were identified through similar meticulous examination and comparison processes. Some debris consisted of interior cabin components, such as seat cushions or panels, which were also matched through serial numbers and other identifying features. The identification of MH370 debris played a pivotal role in confirming that the aircraft had crashed in the southern Indian Ocean, as indicated by satellite data. This provided critical closure to families and investigators seeking answers about the fate of the flight. The locations where debris was found helped refine ocean drift models and search areas, guiding subsequent search efforts more effectively. Insights gained from the debris, such as potential impact forces and environmental exposure, have contributed to enhancing aviation safety standards and practices globally. 4. Advanced search technology. Advanced search technology has played a pivotal role in the extensive and ongoing efforts to locate Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 MH370, which disappeared on March 8, 2014. The search for MH370 has been one of the most challenging in aviation history due to the vast expanse of the southern Indian Ocean where the aircraft is believed to have crashed. Autonomous underwater vehicles, or AUVs, represent a significant advancement in deep-sea exploration technology. These unmanned robotic vehicles are designed to operate autonomously without direct human intervention and can dive to extreme depths that are beyond the reach of traditional manned submersibles. AUVs are equipped with high-resolution sonar systems, cameras, and other sensors to capture detailed images and data of the ocean floor. AUVs are equipped with side-scan sonar and multi-beam echo sounders capable of producing detailed images of the seabed. These systems use sound waves to create precise maps and detect anomalies that may indicate wreckage or debris. AUVs can operate for extended periods underwater, sometimes up to several days or weeks, depending on the mission requirements. They navigate using pre-programmed paths or can be remotely controlled from the surface ship. AUVs can survey rugged and uneven terrain on the ocean floor, maneuvering around obstacles and adjusting their course as needed. This flexibility is crucial in the unpredictable and challenging conditions of the deep sea. Side-scan sonar and multi-beam echo sounders are essential components of AUVs and other underwater search platforms. These technologies use sound waves to map the ocean floor and detect objects of interest. Side-scan sonar emits sound waves that sweep across the ocean floor in a fan-shaped pattern. The echoes reflected back from the seabed are recorded and analyzed. The data collected from the echoes are processed to create detailed images of the seabed. Side-scan sonar can detect objects with high resolution, distinguishing between natural features and man-made structures like wreckage. Unlike side-scan sonar, which emits a single beam, multi-beam echo sounders emit multiple beams of sound waves simultaneously. This allows for faster and more efficient mapping of large areas of the seabed. Multi-beam echo sounders provide accurate measurements of water depth and detailed terrain mapping. They are crucial for identifying underwater features and potential crash sites. Satellite imagery and remote sensing technologies have been instrumental in supporting the search efforts for MH370, particularly in identifying potential debris fields and narrowing down search areas. Satellites equipped with high-resolution cameras can capture images of large areas of the ocean surface. Analysis of these images has helped locate debris potentially related to MH370, such as the flaperon found on Reunion Island. Satellites also monitor ocean conditions, including sea surface temperature, currents, and weather patterns. This data is integrated into oceanographic models to predict drift patterns of debris and optimize search operations. Despite these technological advancements, the search for MH370 has faced numerous challenges, including the vast and remote nature of the search area, unpredictable ocean currents, and limited visibility at extreme depths. Future efforts may involve further advancements in AUV technology, such as improved autonomy, faster data processing capabilities, and enhanced sensor technologies. 5. Revised search areas. The search for Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 MH370 has been a complex and evolving effort, marked by continuous updates and revisions in search areas based on new data, advanced technologies, and refined analytical methods. These revisions have played a crucial role in directing search efforts more effectively and maximizing the chances of locating the aircraft wreckage. This comprehensive analysis explores how the process of revising search areas has unfolded and its significant impact on the MH370 investigation. MH370 disappeared on March 8, 2014, during a flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with 239 people on board. The initial search focused on areas along the aircraft's projected flight path based on the last known radar and satellite communications. However, the vastness of the Indian Ocean and the lack of definitive information posed significant challenges from the outset. Following the analysis of satellite data from Inmarsat, which indicated the plane likely continued flying for several hours after losing primary radar contact, the search area was initially concentrated in the southern Indian Ocean. This area was determined based on the southern corridor identified through the Doppler effect analysis of the satellite pings. Inmarsat's data provided crucial insights into the plane's probable flight path, guiding search efforts to the remote and deep waters of the southern Indian Ocean, far from any possible radar coverage or known flight paths. The discovery of debris, such as the flaperon on Reunion Island in July 2015 and subsequent findings on other shores, corroborated the southern Indian Ocean hypothesis. These debris pieces were crucial in confirming the general area where MH370 likely went down. Despite extensive efforts and technological advancements, including the use of underwater drones and sonar, the main wreckage of MH370 remained elusive. The initial search areas, although based on the best available information at the time, did not yield conclusive results. As debris continued to wash ashore on islands and coastlines in the western Indian Ocean, scientists used ocean drift analysis to backtrack and refine the likely crash location. This involved modeling the movement of floating objects based on ocean currents, wind patterns, and other environmental factors. Sophisticated drift modeling techniques were employed to simulate the trajectory of debris found at various locations, helping to narrow down the search area within the vast expanses of the southern Indian Ocean. 6. The role of Bayesian search theory. Bayesian search theory is a powerful statistical method used to optimize search efforts in scenarios where there is uncertainty about the location of a target, such as Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 MH370. It provides a systematic approach to updating beliefs and probabilities based on new information, helping to focus search efforts efficiently. Bayesian search theory is rooted in Bayesian probability, which is a mathematical framework for updating beliefs in the presence of new evidence. In the context of MH370, this theory was applied to iteratively refine the probability of different search areas as new data and discoveries emerged. Initially, search areas were based on the last known location and data from satellite communications Inmarsat pings. These formed the prior probability distribution of where the aircraft might be located. As search operations progressed and new information, such as debris sightings and ocean drift patterns, became available, Bayesian search theory updated the likelihood function. This function quantifies how likely the observed data example debris found in certain locations would occur if the plane were located in a specific area. Bayesian updating involves combining the prior probability distribution with the likelihood function to compute the posterior probability distribution. This posterior distribution represents the updated belief about the likelihood of the plane being in different areas based on all available evidence. By focusing search efforts on areas with higher posterior probabilities, Bayesian search theory helps prioritize resources effectively. It ensures that search operations are guided by the most current and relevant information, minimizing the likelihood of overlooking potential locations. As new debris was discovered and drift patterns were analyzed, Bayesian methods were used to continuously update and refine the search area. This adaptive approach allowed search efforts to be redirected towards areas with higher probabilities of containing the wreckage. Bayesian search theory facilitated the integration of diverse data sources, including satellite communications data, oceanographic models, debris sightings, and underwater search technology results. By systematically updating probabilities based on these inputs, it provided a comprehensive picture of where the aircraft might have crashed. By prioritizing search areas with higher posterior probabilities, Bayesian methods helped optimize the allocation of search vessels, aircraft, and underwater drones. This strategic allocation maximized the chances of locating the main wreckage despite the vastness and depth of the southern Indian Ocean. The accuracy of Bayesian updates depends heavily on the quality and reliability of the data inputs. Assumptions made about drift patterns, ocean currents, and debris dispersal can influence the outcomes. Developing and maintaining complex Bayesian models requires expertise in statistical analysis and domain-specific knowledge. Iterative updates can also be computationally intensive, requiring robust computational resources. Bayesian search theory has played a pivotal role in the search for MH370 by providing a structured and adaptive framework for integrating and updating information from various sources. It has enabled search teams to make informed decisions about where to focus their efforts, increasing the likelihood of ultimately locating the wreckage. As the search continues, Bayesian methods continue to evolve, incorporating new data and refining probabilities, underscoring their importance in complex search and rescue operations. 7. Insights into pilot intent and flight path analysis. Further analysis of the flight path, based on the satellite data and debris findings, has led to insights into the possible actions of the pilots. Understanding pilot intent and analyzing the flight path of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 MH370 has been crucial in piecing together the events leading to its disappearance. This aspect of the investigation has involved meticulous analysis of satellite data, simulations of possible flight scenarios, and consideration of various hypotheses regarding the actions of the flight crew. Here's an in-depth exploration of how insights into pilot intent and flight path analysis have contributed to the MH370 investigation. The primary source of information regarding MH370's flight path after it disappeared from radar was data transmitted via satellite communications. Inmarsat, a British satellite telecommunications company, provided satellite data indicating that the aircraft continued to communicate with the satellite for several hours after losing primary radar contact. Inmarsat's data consisted of automated hourly handshakes or pings between the aircraft and a ground station. These pings allowed investigators to determine that the aircraft remained airborne and followed one of two possible corridors, a northern corridor stretching from Thailand to Kazakhstan, or a southern corridor extending from Indonesia to the southern Indian Ocean. By analyzing the Doppler shift in the frequency of these pings, scientists could infer the relative velocity of the aircraft towards or away from the satellite. This analysis indicated that the southern corridor was more likely, leading to extensive search efforts in the southern Indian Ocean. Several hypotheses have been proposed regarding the actions of the pilot or pilots on board MH370. These hypotheses have been based on the available evidence, including the satellite data, communication patterns, and the aircraft's flight path. One prominent theory is that MH370 was deliberately diverted from its intended flight path by someone on board, possibly one of the pilots. This theory is supported by the intentional turning off of the aircraft's transponder and the irregular flight path observed on radar and satellite data. Another hypothesis suggests that an onboard emergency, such as a rapid decompression or a catastrophic mechanical failure, incapacitated the flight crew and passengers, leaving the aircraft to fly on autopilot until it ran out of fuel. To understand the plausibility of these hypotheses and to narrow down the search area, investigators conducted simulations of possible flight scenarios based on satellite data and other available information. Flight path models were developed to simulate different scenarios, including controlled flight paths where the aircraft was under human control and uncontrolled scenarios where it followed a straight path until fuel exhaustion. Bayesian search theory was applied to update the probability of different search areas based on new data and simulations. This statistical approach allowed investigators to refine the search efforts and focus on the most likely crash zones in the southern Indian Ocean. By modeling different flight paths and speeds, investigators estimated the endurance of the aircraft and the amount of fuel remaining at various points along the suspected flight path. This helped in narrowing down the search area by eliminating regions where the aircraft could not have reached based on its fuel capacity. Simulations also explored scenarios where the aircraft may have been deliberately flown to a remote location in the southern Indian Ocean versus scenarios where it entered a steep, uncontrolled descent after fuel exhaustion. The latter is consistent with the absence of significant debris fields in the immediate vicinity of the crash site. In addition to technical analysis, investigators conducted extensive psychological and background checks on the flight crew, including the pilot, Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, and the first officer, Fariq Abdul Hamid. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah came under scrutiny due to his experience and background. Psychological profiles and interviews with colleagues and acquaintances were conducted to understand his state of mind and any potential motives for diverting the aircraft. The role of the first officer, Fariq Abdul Hamid, was also investigated, although no evidence implicating him in any wrongdoing was found. The insights gained from the analysis of pilot intent and flight path simulations have been instrumental in advancing the MH370 investigation. They have helped to refine search efforts, focus resources on the most likely crash area, and provide a clearer understanding of the aircraft's final moments. Moreover, technological advancements in underwater drones and autonomous vehicles have allowed for more detailed and extensive seabed mapping. These tools can operate at extreme depths, far beyond the reach of traditional manned submersibles, providing high-resolution images of the ocean floor. Recent expeditions using these technologies have uncovered previously undetected anomalies and wreckage patterns consistent with an aircraft impact, bringing scientists closer than ever to confirming the exact location of MH370. Another critical aspect of the breakthrough involves advancements in forensic analysis. Experts have revisited the satellite data from the Inmarsat communications system, which tracked the plane's pings during its final hours. By applying new algorithms and cross-referencing this data with oceanographic models, they have been able to reconstruct the flight path with greater accuracy. This has provided crucial insights into the plane's trajectory and potential descent behavior, helping to pinpoint likely crash sites. However, despite these advancements, the main wreckage of MH370 has not been located, and many questions remain unanswered. The search for the aircraft continues, driven by the determination to provide closure to the families of the 239 passengers and crew members who were on board. The emotional toll on the families of those aboard MH370 has been immeasurable. For nearly a decade, they have endured a harrowing wait for news, grappling with uncertainty and the weight of unanswered questions. The latest scientific breakthroughs offer a glimmer of hope for these families, as they edge closer to understanding the fate of their loved ones. The potential recovery of the aircraft's black boxes, which could contain vital flight data and cockpit voice recordings, would be instrumental in providing definitive answers and possibly preventing similar tragedies in the future. While the discovery marks a significant milestone, it also underscores the challenges and complexities of deep-sea exploration. The vast and largely uncharted depths of the ocean remain one of the final frontiers of human discovery. The MH370 investigation has not only pushed the boundaries of current technology, but also highlighted the need for continued innovation and international cooperation in tackling such enigmas. As we stand on the cusp of potentially solving one of aviation's greatest mysteries, the journey of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between human endeavor and the formidable forces of nature. The scientific community remains steadfast in its commitment to uncovering the truth, driven by a collective desire to honor the memory of those lost and to ensure safer skies for future generations. The MH370 investigation has highlighted the complexities involved in searching for a missing aircraft in remote and deep oceanic regions. It has also underscored the importance of international cooperation, technological innovation, and the ongoing development of aviation safety protocols to prevent similar incidents in the future. The lessons learned from the MH370 investigation have prompted regulatory bodies and aviation authorities to implement stricter guidelines for aircraft tracking and communication systems, particularly over remote oceanic regions. The international collaboration and coordination seen in the MH370 search have set precedents for enhanced cooperation in addressing future aviation emergencies and improving global response capabilities. While the main wreckage of MH370 has yet to be located, the ongoing search efforts and the discoveries made have provided some closure to the families and loved ones of the passengers and crew. Understanding the fate of MH370 remains a priority for those affected and for the aviation community as a whole. As we await further developments, the story of MH370 remains a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the relentless pursuit of knowledge in the face of uncertainty.